All right, what's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while. My plan was to be a lot more active with this channel, but you know, life and stuff gets in the way. I just haven't had a chance to really work on the car or do any content. But today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you guys how to remove the center console. So from the armrest all the way up to the climate control. Now I'm taking this out so that I can vinyl wrap all this stuff to match the dash trim. I still got to do the doors and the climate control. I did all the way around here. And I went with like the high gloss carbon fiber finish. I personally like how it looks. My last car was Integra DC2, the last car I did this stuff in anyway. And I went with like the matte 3M Denoc. And I don't know, I just figured I'd try something different. So this time around I went with the high gloss finish. I was a little bit paranoid about putting this stuff on because like I'm super OCD. I didn't know how well it was going to hold up to scratches, but I took a little test piece, took a key to it and just like tried to dig it up a bunch of times, and it's pretty resistant. So I'm going to just keep doing my thing with this and just wrap the entire console. So I'm going to wrap obviously cup holder cover, shifter plate, the cubby, and the 12 volt power adapter, not an ashtray cover, whatever you want to call it. Ideally what you want to use is something like this, like a trim removal kit. These things are pretty cheap. I'll leave a link down in the description for you. I bought like a full comprehensive vinyl kit. You don't even need all these pieces. Like, you don't really need the squeegee, you don't need all these pry tools. Really, you just need like the thin flat one. I also just bought this because it was cheap and it came with this like craft knife, which is super sharp, and that's the main thing I wanted it for. So this does help, and it prevents obviously any damage. You can see here I got a little bit impatient when I was taking this stuff out, and I chipped a small piece of the dash. I'm going to repair this another day. I mean, not everybody's the same with being particular, but for me, I'm trying to preserve this car. Like, it's an 18-year-old car, and not just for that sake. It's just like, I just want to keep my car mint. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take off your shift knob. Also, you could pull up your e-brake because you're going to need this out of the way to lift all this stuff up. So yank up your e-brake, take off your shift knob. Probably just leave my adapter on there because it's not really going to affect this coming off. This stuff's probably never been taken out, so I'm going to be super careful. The last thing I'm trying to do is crack any of this stuff. So just bear with me. I'll try and keep this video short, and hopefully everything works out for the best. All right, so that was super easy. Lift this rubber mat up, get a grip on the bottom here, open this up, and just pull from here. So when we take this out, we're gonna have one power adapter, one clip to loosen at the back here. This is for the little light that's inside, I believe. So I'm gonna do that now. So yeah, this is just to take out the bulb. It's pretty simple. I'm pretty sure mine's blown because I don't think I've ever actually seen this light up. You just twist this. It's like lefty loosey, just twist, it pops out. Lifted this out from underneath this little clip here. And then the back piece is gonna actually have like a zip tie lock. So you could either go in, I don't know how well you can see from the bottom, take like a pair of pliers and just like squeeze it and press it through. All right, guys, so I was able to keep it intact. Pretty easy. If you look at this from the side, it has like 2 parts of tension. So I just flipped over the cubby, and then you can turn this while it's inside. Turned it so that it was on its side. I took a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pressed on one side, tugged it a bit, pressed the other side. Now we have first piece out. You can see you got 2 Phillips star head screws right there. Pretty easy to take out, so we're gonna do that now. All right, so we got our 2 screws out. You guys can see it's just like a standard Phillips head screw. They're pretty short, so one suggestion I'm gonna make, either use a screwdriver with a magnetic tip or something that has a long enough end. Once as you get it loose enough, I mean, you can just loosen it with your finger and just lift it out. That's what I did. If you don't have a bit that has a magnetic tip, because last thing you want is for it to fall back here, and then, I mean, it's just more work for absolutely no reason. So now this can't come out until we get those 2 bottom screws out, right? All right, so once as you get the rubber mat out, you can see it goes like this. lifted it out. I actually ended up using the plastic pry tool. I used like one with a really thin edge and just kind of stuck it under to lift it up. It's hard to get a grip on it if you're just using your fingers. So I'd suggest, like, yeah, get a really thin screwdriver, put some tape on it if you don't want to damage the rubber, and you just have to get literally any of the creases and you can just pull it up. So now we got 2 more Phillips screws right there that have washers. All right, so again, super easy, guys. They're pretty short screws. You don't have to worry about dropping them or anything. You're just literally unscrewing those 2. All right, next you got another Phillips here, and there's another one right here. Okay, same thing on the other side. So I just slid the seat up first. I'm gonna take this one out. All right, so to get the front armrest screws out, what you're going to want to do is just move the belt buckle, and slide the seat back so that it's like lined up with this hole here, and then just move the back piece backwards and it'll make it perfectly aligned. Otherwise, you're going to end up moving the seat back and forth and not figure out how to get to it. All right, so I'm going to give another tip to you guys. When you move the seat back to take that screw out, try and go in as straight as possible. It started kind of spinning a little bit. Go in straight, try and press firmly, and just slowly turn. Try not to wear these screws down too much. And I definitely jinxed myself because this one definitely is starting to spin. You see that? So yeah, I'm gonna get a screwdriver with a longer neck, and hopefully I can put some better pressure on it. Maybe go with a slightly larger tip. All right, guys, so 10 minutes later we got that other bolt out. I also realized that this shifter plate probably has to come out first. So to get this out, what I suggest you do is go on this side, firm grip, press on the outside, lift up, firm grip on this side, lift up, and like be super patient, because with mine, it's like this thing, I was so worried that this thing was gonna crack. You know, there's like, just look, there's like all kinds of shit that's spilled in there, all kinds of dirt and grime. Like, it's just plastic clips, but yeah, like look at that, it's disgusting. I'm gonna clean this up. So now once as you get this up, you got the 2 seat heater clips to remove, and these should be pretty easy. There's a tab on the right side here. You just press in and then you pull the clip down, and there we go. Cup holder and the center console bezel is out. We got the side screws out. Now you got Phillips 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so got the 4 screws out. This just easily lifts out. You have just 1 clip to worry about, which goes right there, and that's the one that attaches to the 12-volt adapter, the cigarette lighter, and it's the same harness that we disconnected the bulb from earlier. So pretty straightforward, easy to remember. If you guys just like wanna, you could always label this stuff. Like, I mean, I know for some people, if this is like your first time taking anything out of the interior, it might seem intimidating, but it's pretty straightforward. Like, left seat heater, right seat heater, cigarette plug, bulb. Now that we have all the screws in this upper portion out, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect these 2 harnesses here. So the green one, which attached right there, is for the cigarette adapter. So again, there's like a little, if you squeeze here, you just click this, pull back. Then you have this little plug here, which is for your aux. Same thing, there's a black clip underneath, just press hard. I know it's it's gonna be a little bit tough sometimes, but just pull, just like jiggle it a bit, and just patience. Patience is key here. Now we got another one of these plastic tabs. Okay, now the last 2 screws we should be able to take out before this can pull back are underneath these 2 tabs for the screws from the little ashtray part, and they're right under here. Oh, how well you guys can see that. There you go. There's 1 and there's 2. These are again the same thing, just Phillips. So I'm going to take those out. And there we go. 2 more of these dome type screws. So what I'll do is at the end of the video, I'll give you a little screw recap, so that way you remember what goes where. And we should be able to just pull this back. Yep, so we pull back and it disconnected from here. Now this part's going to be a little bit awkward, so you just got to be patient. You're going to have to kind of go up and around, and then, like, you know, get the little parts that the clips latch onto from underneath, just like over the shifter bezel and over the e-brake. But other than that, that should be it. Before you go to lift the armrest out, there's a little hook here on the e-brake boot, and it was kind of getting caught, and I couldn't really figure out what was still holding it in place. I knew I had all the screws out. Just like, it's almost like a little staple. It's a little hook. It just kind of sticks right on. You don't have to do anything. You literally just lift it off before you pull the center console out. All right, so it's out, guys. Center console is completely out. One other thing I forgot to mention that I'm going to come back to is these clips. So this one, it's a little bit tight, the space to get a screwdriver in there. I just really pressed firmly. I mean, it kind of hurts your fingers a bit, but if you see what I mean here, they do have some flex. So you can just squeeze, push in one side, pull it a bit so it kind of gets stuck in the hole, turn it around, push in the other side, pull out. Let's do our little screw recap here. So these two silver colored ones with the washers go into the base of the armrest underneath the rubber mat. Then you got these 4 Phillips that have a flat head, like a smooth flat head. 2 on the passenger, 2 on the driver's side that go into the armrest from the outside. The rest are literally all the same screw. So they're Phillips star heads with like a round dome head on them. So we had 2 that went in the back here. We had 2 that went right here, and that was to take out the armrest and the cubby. We had 2 underneath that lock the top portion of the center console into place. We had 2 right here that go into the shifter bezel. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's all the screws. That's literally it, guys. So pretty straightforward. I hope this video was helpful. I'll do another video maybe when I do my vinyl wrapping. I'm not sure if that's something people want to see, like vinyl wrapping techniques. I've had quite a bit of practice and I'm very particular when I do it, so maybe that's something that I'll do. It's a little dark right now, but I might bring these interior pieces inside and give them a quick clean, and we'll see how I feel. I might do the vinyl wrap tonight, if not tomorrow. But anyway, I hope that this was helpful. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop it down below, and stay tuned till the next video.